Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Hey guys, so doing a little mobile blog, video blog right here real quick because my Saturday's a little bit busy, so I gotta kind of hit this while I'm moving. Try not to get too much motion sickness if you can help it. But basically, just trying to catch you guys up real quick on the last few days. Yesterday, I was able to hit, as you saw, the BJJ drilling class and the competition class. Didn't get the full experience out of it, if you will, because unfortunately, towards the end of the drilling class and the beginning of the competition class, my left knee, which had been pretty much fine throughout the week, started to get a little tired. So it was just kind of, it wasn't hurting and it wasn't necessarily sore, but it was like I said, uncomfortable, and I could tell that it was on the verge, that it was clicking a little bit more than usual and things like that. So I felt like it would probably be a wiser choice for me to bow out of the sparring session at the end, come home early and just give it a little bit more time to rest and recuperate and stuff. So that's what I did. Came home, had some dinner, which actually I think all I had to eat last night was like a bowl of cereal and a yogurt. Just really wasn't that hungry. But sat around, watched the fights, did some more training for Fight Metric. Moving on now from Module 5 to Module 6 of the 7 total. So that's a really cool thing that I'm excited about. And then went to bed. Really exciting Friday night. I'm a party animal. Alex was giving me grief because everyone else was going out, and I was like, no, I'm going to sit here and be lazy and just go to bed early. I have a big day tomorrow. It's going to be a busy Saturday. But it has been actually pretty busy Saturday. Woke up this morning, was originally planning to hit both Russ's seminar at noon and the jiu-jitsu class at 11. So I woke up at 9, got about an half hour of work in, remoted into my desktop at Markel and did some indexing of some scanning I had done yesterday. So that was all good and productive. And then was getting ready to get up and get dressed and get ready to go to jiu-jitsu, and realized, oh gosh, all my clothes are still in the washer. I don't have any dry gi pants. I don't even have a dry belt. So I had to throw the stuff in the dryer real quick, which meant I didn't get to go to the jiu-jitsu class, but I did get to go to Russ's class, which was really fantastic. I realized as I kind of, thought about trying to explain his class a little bit better, that there was no, he wasn't, trying to show us any groundbreaking techniques. We did a lot of solo drills, boot scoots up and down the mat, shrimps, and just standard warm-up techniques that we've been doing for a while. But what was, and again, not groundbreaking, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in a stage where I'm just finally listening to my coaches instead of, nodding my head until they get to the fun jiu-jitsu stuff and stop talking. But pointing out the fact that your jiu-jitsu development is dependent on you. You're not gonna, I'm not gonna, if I just walk into class every single day and kind of smile and shake hands and sit there and go through the 2 or 3 techniques that Andrew or Trey or Russ or Daniel or whoever shows that night, if I just go through those handful of techniques and then go immediately into open mat sparring with the guys, and then turn around and, expect to suddenly be, a black belt in, 5 years or whatever. Clearly that's never going to happen. Russ was was making a really strong point today, said it multiple times that, you are responsible for your development. Sorry, I'm shaking up the mustard. That's why we just went shaky cam. And really emphasize that fact that if all you want to do is come in and have a workout and have fun and hang out, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want, if you're really wondering why your progression isn't happening as quickly as you want it to, or you're wondering, gee, why am I not, winning more medals in competition like I want to. If if your focus is to progress and improve, and not even necessarily to be a medal chaser, but at least to be a better jiu-jitsu player, and you're wondering why it's not happening as quickly as you want, the reason is because you're not taking personal responsibility. The reason is that you're not you're not making a game plan for when you walk in. And it was really cool. He went through, after we did about an hour and 15 minutes or an hour and 20 minutes or so of solo drills, he then got into partner drills, which was really more about etiquette. Not so much about, here's how to do this partner drill, here's how to do that partner drill, here's how to do another partner drill, and if you do these partner drills, then you will have the perfect triangle. But it was more about, listen, if someone walks up to you and says, hey, I'm trying to drill, what was one of the ones he talked about? The deep half guard wheel sweep. I want to drill this. He, was going into an explanation of, what your job is as a partner when when someone wants to drill with you. It's not your job to just kind of sit there and be a limp fish and just kind of move, and not, and just kind of be a sack of meat for him to throw around. It's also not your job to be a rock and kind of say, I'm not going to move unless you make me move. We talked about varying levels of resistance, and the idea that, when you're first learning a technique, you should pretty much be giving, if you're the partner, you should be giving the performer of the technique, basically no resistance. I mean, you should be a live body, and you should, like I said, not be a limp sack of meat, but at the same time, you shouldn't be, you should be letting him do what he needs to do. And then eventually, when he decides that he's had enough reps, which Russ says is in the, hundreds to possibly thousands range, and he feels comfortable with it, then that's when you start giving him 25% resistance. Just, he tries to sweep you over and you base, or he tries to sweep you over and you just you resist a little bit. You're doing little things just so it's a little new wrinkle that he has to adjust for and has to be ready for and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm trying to make a lunch meat sandwich one-handed, which is a lot more difficult than it seems like it should be. And then, from 25 you go to 50, and from 50 you go to 75, and then from 75 eventually you go to 100%, which is, you're going in there and you're telling the guy, hey, listen, we're going to start here in open guard, I'm going to get to deep half, I'm going to get grips on your lapels, and then I'm going to sweep you over. I dare you to stop me. And that's, that's kind of that final level, and once you've gone through all those repetitions and you're hitting it at 100% resistance when he knows what's coming, that's when you can be really confident about, sticking it in your competition game and saying, listen, I can hit this against guys in the gym at 100% resistance. They know what's coming, and I'm still able to knock him over with it. So what happens with this guy who gets caught off guard? He also made a point to say, don't be afraid to try it in competition just because you're still at the, at the zero resistance, 100% compliance stage. Don't be afraid to try it in sparring, You're going to, run into new situations and new pressures and things like that. But, don't feel like if you're still at the, at the zero resistance phase and you try it in sparring and it doesn't work, don't be surprised. Russ said, it's not because the technique sucks, it's because you suck at that technique. So don't blame, don't try a cross choke, fail, and then go, oh, well, it's a simple technique and I'll never be able to pull it off because everyone sees it coming. Because it may be a fundamental technique, but you've maybe only drilled it, max 50 times. So how are you going to say that the technique sucks when you've barely even taken a step towards mastery? I mean, there's been studies done of, amazing musicians who are considered just, geniuses, and they're just gifted and they're naturals, and they've asked them about the time that they've spent in the, in the practice room, and they've all put in 10,000 hours. And that's the threshold for someone who just seems to be a gifted natural. It's because they put in 10,000 hours of practice. No one walks in and just picks up a violin for the first time and just starts ripping off Vivaldi and Beethoven and can just rip it. It's the people who put in the time and the dedication and the work. So by the same token, there's no way that you're gonna walk in and see a guy, do a triangle and instantly be able to walk into practice and just catch everybody in that triangle. There are stories about, BJ Penn, got to his black belt amazingly quickly, and I believe Master Lloyd Irvin got his black belt in like 2 years or something amazing like that. And there is a lot of natural ability, but considering that, Russ pointed out that Team Lloyd Irvin's requirement, so to speak, is that you get 10,000 reps on a technique on each side before you put it into your competition game. It's not just pure luck. He clearly has this dedication to repetition and to drilling. And, Russ made the point that, if you've drilled the cross-choke defense 100 times, maybe 200 times, and you're like, yeah, I got this defense down, I can stop anybody who tries to cross-choke me. And you roll against a Team Lloyd Irvin guy, and they've drilled the cross-choke 10,000 times on each side, 10,000 versus 200, they're going to win. Doesn't matter. They're going to win. So really, it was a really eye-opening experience because it made me realize that, it puts the burden back on my shoulders. It's not just, all I have to do is show up and listen to Andrew and he'll make me awesome. And the reason I'm not awesome is because I'm not showing up, so Andrew hasn't had enough time to teach me what to do. It's that the reason I'm not good is because I haven't committed to it. The reason I'm not good is because I don't have a plan. I don't have an idea of what it is I want to get done each day when I walk in there. So it was just kind of, on the one hand, a little embarrassing that, wow, I really haven't been responsible. I really haven't been, taking this seriously and being really possessive of my development. But at the time, it was also, kind of, I don't know, not necessarily freeing, but exciting. I don't know. I can't find the right word right now. Somewhere along freeing and exciting, encouraging maybe, possibly. I don't know, something like that. This is gonna bug me that I can't get the right word because I won't be able to move on with this sentence. I'll go with freeing for right now. It was just freeing to know that I can, okay, here's a great explanation. People always talk about, develop your game. Find your game. Figure out what works for your game. Or saying, people would say, hey Ben, you're a tall guy. This will fit really good in your game. This throw, this submission, this sweep, this position, this will work really good for a tall guy. This is a tall man's game. And I always felt like, well, gee, am I supposed to just naturally fall into this stuff? Am I supposed to just find myself hitting triangles on everyone and going, oh, okay, now I'm getting the tall man's game? Or it's like, oh man, this Uchimata is just, there it is, but done. See, because I'm tall, that's why I get it. And so I was kind of, wondering when I was going to luck into that tall man situation and when that was going to finally happen for me. And I realized that the reason it hasn't happened is because I'm not choosing to make it a part of my game. It's only going to be a part of my game if I force it to be. If I put in the time and the hours to where that is a second nature to me. So it's kind of exciting, and I'm really looking forward to, once I'm done with this competition and my this short-term goal is met, the next step I'm planning to take is to lay out another training schedule. This time, instead of training towards a competition, it's going to be a training schedule for drilling a technique. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards probably the triangle from the closed guard, especially the when you hook the knee. Andrew was showing us that position where you break the guy down, because I like that. That feels cool to me. I like where that feels. So at the very least, getting into that position and then setting up a triangle from there. But that's something that I can worry about after the competition. Right now, I'm just trying to feel. I'm focused on the competition right now. But it was a really exciting seminar. I'm really looking forward to, talking to Russ about it, picking his brain more, and talking to Andrew and the guys about that too, and trying to, decide what I want to be my game and making it happen.